my question today, Jacqueline.
Yes.
Do you ever feel like you want to be a stay-at-home girlfriend? Yeah, I changed it. Flipped it Hi, I'm Phoebe.
Hi, I'm Jacques.
And welcome to Do You Ever Feel Like?
Where we ask the questions that everyone's thinking and no one's answering.
I have a cousin that was doing doula training years ago, and for as part of her certification, she had to like watch a certain number of like video births and then like attend home births and stuff like that. And like I would go over and like she would be like, "Do my homework with me," and I'd be like, "Stop! I'm 17. I can't."
I don't understand. Like, I don't really get that whole thing of having people watch them to be prepared.
Well, I think it's like she would do like just very basic like quizzes, and then she would attend births after that as well.
Yeah, no. I mean, like people like birthers to be.
Yeah, watching
that watch that. I'm like,
I know, because it's just gotta.
But this is what we mean. This is why you and I are the way we are.
Yeah, I know. Well,
because,
don't even. I can't say any of what I want to say. No, I can't.
The Tracee thing, though, is what I'm saying. Like, we would be let's give birth to a baby.
No, I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about it. Like,
I don't want to know about it either.
No.
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 And it's like after the fact, like when the baby is coming, that you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, as it the way God intended.
The way she intended.
The way Goddess intended. Yes, correct.
So funny. Like, I don't know. I think like that way about like that just like really stuck with me when Tracee said that, because I was like, yes, like people that are like, I'm gonna go on this adventure. Whatever the new adventure is, the new thing that you haven't done, and then they like do a bunch of research beforehand.
No.
Like, I'm not like that.
No.
At all.
No, I don't want to know. And I don't like my dad and I have always talked about going skydiving together. And I don't know why, because I don't think anything in my personality would maybe people would like think I would want to do that, but like I would do literally like, and I think we've talked about it just because he had asked me one day. He was like, "Would you ever go skydiving with me?" And I was like, "Sure." Like I will do literally anything once, which is maybe not fared well. It's not like a great life motto of mine.
Yes.
It's not always everything's not always coming up Phoebe.
Yeah.
But
that's funny.
I still will do it. But yes, I do. I will have a conniption after the fact.
After the fact. Yeah. I only ever do a lot of that if it has to do with like pleasure. Like, will this be a pleasurable experience? I need to check those boxes.
Yeah,
I don't doing something new.
That's a good point, because like I don't like we were just booking some like travel and stuff like that, and like I need to know where I'm sleeping. Like there's a threshold. There's a certain threshold. The more cuckoo bananas insane person it gets, the more I am okay with not knowing.
Yes. This
Which
is what
probably is trauma.
Like, this is literally what I'm saying.
Like where am I sleeping tonight? I need to have a detailed report of.
But whether or not you're going to fling your body off of an airplane and how that is going to work, NBD.
Don't care.
NBD, TBD.
And then I'll get off that plane and be like, "You are a dumb bitch. What is your problem?"
Yes, exactly. Yes.
What is your problem?
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
Well, we're back. That's a nice way to say we're back.
We're back
From our break.
With our spunky new haircuts.
Yes. Oh, yes. This is right. I forgot about that. I've had a haircut for a week and a bit, and I'm a whole new girl.
Yeah. The like shock of it is worn off.
Yeah. How are you doing?
you know.
It's funny to say that we're back from break because
I talk to you all the time.
Well, yeah. So that. Genuinely, I'm like, today I won't talk to Jacqueline.
Okay, when I tell you that I try to make it sometimes like an intentional thing, that I'm like, you wackadoodle, like you are.
I'll come
like,
swinging out from like the deep dark forest of my mind. Like, look at what I got going on.
I know. Sometimes I'll like time check and I'll be like, oh, it's noon.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from Phoebe.
And it's only a matter of time till I like airdrop right into from above.
But I'll be like proud of us. I'll be like, oh, it's 2:00 on a Saturday and we haven't spoken. Like, go us.
I know. Codependency who? Not me.
Freaks us all.
Not me. Ay. Yeah. Well, we're back. We're back to this, I guess. This version of insane. Which was nice. Yeah. It was nice. I don't know, but like we work so much. We still talk about it so much. I don't really think it was like an actual break. It's so funny.
I feel like it was a bit of a break because like I forgot how to. Yes. I mean, I forget how to do it every time.
Yes.
I forgot on like a level of like, oh right, you need things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to come back.
Yeah. You are back online. I have to change your Instagram bio still.
Oh shit! Yes, I am.
Jacqueline's back on Instagram,
and as Phoebe knows, yeah,
it's
hate
an
every
interesting
minute
thing.
Of it.
Well, it's so funny. It's like I love talking. You know, I love being with the people.
Me too.
Do I love arguing while uploading something?
No,
I don't. It's not my jam.
Someone reached out and said, the reaction has been welcoming, is what I'm saying. The people are excited.
The people love you.
And I love that the people love me. But I was like...
And I love them for loving me, and we love each other.
Loving each other. And I was like, I had someone be like, oh, we're so excited. Like, and I was like, I'm not. And they were like, I knew you were going to say that. And I was like, I hate every minute of this.
I know.
No, but I do. I feel it feels very different. I'm so happy to have taken a year off. I suggest everybody chuck their phone in the ocean all the time. But like in that sense of, I really did discover that in the year that it's not my phone, it's me.
Oh.
And like, I don't think I could have done that if I did not eliminate it first. You know, like I've really learned that it doesn't matter what the thing is. That is actually me.
That is so intelligent. I whenever I go to talk about my phone, I feel so fucking embarrassed because I feel like it's like ALOK called it millennial cringe the other day, and I was like, that is it. Like that is how I feel. Like I feel like an old dumb bitch, but also Are you okay?
I just had a vision of you saying that as an old dumb bitch.
Yeah, right?
And I'm like, Phoebe at 80 is the same thing.
Well,
Phoebe
it's
the same thing.
Oh, I mean, I looked into my grandmother's eyes and I saw the tunnel in which I was rushing forth into. Yes. It's called, oh my God, I have so many stories about my grandma just being exactly who she is. It literally, the day she died, she was telling me the woman next to her, and like in her literal deathbed, like in the hospital, she was like, that woman over there is gross and annoying. And I was like, shut up. Stop it.
Oh my gosh, I am obsessed with your grandmother. I'm obsessed.
Yeah, she is a true Gemini. And she's still here. She's still here knocking around. Yeah.
Anyways, yes,
Anyway.
millennial cringe.
It feels
phone.
it feels millennial cringe to talk about my phone. And as ALOK said, it feels punk rock, you know, at the same time, to like have this discerning relationship with it and to know it's not my phone. It's just me. I had this real come to Jesus moment. I've been having a couple, as you know, you've been on the receiving end of it, of like, I am never going to be happy. I am never going to get the things I want. Like, I will get everything that I've ever wanted. Everything. And I am still going to be this miserable old shit if I don't get right with myself. Like, if I don't deal with my own stuff and my own like crap. I've been like having a real like stop reacting to people and only give people what they're asking for. And if they are too whatever in their own stuff right now to not be able to ask for it, then shut up, Phoebe.
Yeah.
Like, just stop it. Just stop like the external need, desire, want of like to be okay. And yeah, like I just like, and that's what my phone is for me. It's just like an external need, desire, want to like feel okay. And it annoys me when I don't get it. And that's me thing to work out.
Yeah.
So that's what's up. That was my break.
Great. Yeah. I feel like in a lot of ways that now that I'm back on the internet, it's like the internet is caught up to like everyone not being on it all the time.
Yeah.
Like this thing that I feel like I was kind of craving of like, what is wrong with us?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I was like stepping away from my business and everything, and I was like, look, like now it's like, exactly. It's like punk rock or like, I don't know, like it's just on the forefront of people's minds more, right? Of like the apps that intercept it or staying off on certain days or like the kind of like actual culture of the thing is very different now than a year ago.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. And I think it's very, I mean, I don't know. I think about it a lot just in terms of like, you know, what is my relationship to this? I think a lot of it from like future parenting too. And like, would I give this thing to a child of mine, or like would I want my child to have a relationship with like this like random black mirror in every kind of way that I have cultivated for myself? And I think that's maybe just a question to ask, you know, like what am I putting out into the world, or if I energy or human wise, you know, of like. And like if you want to scroll all day, that's cool, but like can we like be like, could I make that choice and not feel like it's like a choice that someone else made for me?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. What you been Oh, go ahead.
I love that you introduced me to the Clearspace app.
It's good. I will say, yeah, let me actually shut that. That's what it's called, the Clearspace app.
I think it's called Clearspace. Yeah. It's really it has
good.
really helped.
It's good.
Really, it does exactly what you said. It just like interjects the desire.
Yeah, it's like this
hey,
little
be present.
Yeah, it's this little timer app. So when you hit to open, and you can assign it to like anything. I've put it on TikTok and Instagram to be like, I can't just when I'm standing in line like open up Instagram and then like feel shitty about myself. And so when I am using it, it's like, oh yeah, I actually like want to sit down and like if I'm working or if I do want to just scroll for 45 minutes, like I get to make that decision for myself and not like get trapped or something. Like I was trying to just even I think it was like last night, 2 nights ago, I was like trying to go to bed and I was like, okay, get up off of the couch now. And it was like 20 minutes later of just like being on my phone. And it's like, I just want to go to bed. Just want to not. It is very funny though. I think it is very like kind of maybe triggering for people in a way that like don't have that interface with it, because like I've really stopped looking at my phone after kind of like 7 p.m. And when people have tried to get in touch with, like, it kind of irritates them when they're like trying to get in touch with me and I'm like not available. I'm like, who fucking, I mean, one, who texts? Insane.
Honestly,
insane form of communication that you're just allowed to be like, give me your attention right now because it came across my mind.
I honestly, we all walk around with this. Like, we all walk around with it and we are apologizing to each other for it. And it's like, honestly, it's insane. It's insane. We would never walk into someone's home and walk into their room and walk up next to them and be like, your attention, mine now. And we would all be like, ew, what is that? And we would like, but somehow there's this like etiquette or something, or there's this apology for not responding or not getting back to, and it's just
I refuse. I do not apologize for very basic human existence stuff. I'll even let myself write it and then I like delete it when I.
Oh, that's smart. That's lovely.
I'll
that's
be like,
a really good
my
idea.
apologies, and then I'm like, no, only clear language, and not like, I think people call it kneecapping, which is not a great word, but like
weird.
Yeah, like your language, but like I'm just like, no.
I don't know what to do when someone
no justs.
Yeah. Oh God,
I don't just do anything.
I'm trying to work on that. I don't understand what to say to people when they say that to me.
Oh,
like, what is
I mean, this is my personal journey. Shut up.
Like,
shut up.
Yeah. Like,
that's not mine, you know? Like, what am I going to – like, we just got to make each other feel better about – I don't know. It's like it's a certain level – that's what I'm talking about, though. It's a certain level of like, oh, sure. Like, oh, no worries. Actually, here's just like a language tip I've learned. I can't remember. Maybe my therapist told me this, but instead of saying I'm sorry, say thank you.
Yes.
Like, you know, thank you for your patience or something like that. And I find, and even just, and this is I think maybe my mother-in-law was speaking, she was saying like, oh, it was Simon's grandparents are German and Taiwanese, and they don't, so like English second language, they don't understand waiters saying no worries. They're like, why would you say no worries? I don't understand. Like, why don't people just say thank you? And so I've even been saying that. It's like, oh, you know, if someone apologizes, I'll like receive that as a thank you as well, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway. What have you been watching? What have you been reading?
What have I been watching? What have I been reading? What have I been doing? I don't know.
What's even on right now?
Well, I've done this thing where for the last 3 shows that I've watched, I've like watched what Kiefer tells me to watch.
Oh, because yeah, that's smart.
I used to be someone who was like telling all the people what to watch, and now I'm like, what if I just watch what people tell me to watch, right? And it's been delightful.
What are you watching so then? You're watching Ginny and Georgia.
I watched Ginny and Georgia, the 2nd season.
I don't think I can watch that.
That show is...
I don't think that's for me.
No, it's not.
I don't think... I can't do a complex mother-daughter relationship.
No. It's not for you. It's weird because Gilmore Girls will always be evident in that relationship till the end of time, and that is the cultural grip that it will forever have on any mother-daughter relationship.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting little. The thing I love about Ginny and Georgia is that it's incredibly contradictory. My dog is playing with toys. It's incredibly contradictory show. Like, it asks you to hold a bunch of contradictions at the same time. Okay. And I love that.
Maybe
like,
I will
that's
give
my
it a whirl.
Juice. But it's like packaged in like weird young adult stuff. Okay. And let me tell you, the thing about Ginny and Georgia, or really any coming of age story, when I watch any coming of age story now that I'm a 30-year-old person in the world, it will never not be creepy to me watching like children have sex.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're sitting here watching
Mhm.
honestly
What's
something that
supposed to be like a
feels
16-year-old or something?
yes.
Yeah, I know.
And frankly, it feels like I know why this is important, right? Because
Yeah.
I know why it's important that we have these things in books, on screen, blah 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 blah. I know that.
Mhm.
But when I'm watching it, I kind of am like,
Well, you know what, though? I think, like, Heartstopper did such a good job. There's no sex in it, but there's actual they're hired teenagers, and so they
mhm,
have to portray intimacy in a way that is, like, legally okay,
yeah.
and I think it, like that show does such a fucking beautiful job of it.
There's
Like,
many layers to this. Exactly.
it's so good, and it's so I mean, create limitations breed creativity in that way, and I don't like I mean, like, I also watch all of Riverdale and whatever CW nonsense comes
Yeah.
out, like, whatever.
Gossip Girl for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
so it's
wanna
like, it is a both and, you know?
it's a both and then, like, I think about the fact too of, like, I don't know, I feel like that time in, like, sexual self feels very, like, special. Feels
Oh,
very, like,
my god.
un like, I just am wondering, like, what we're doing to that, like, lived experience as a culture by, like,
Yeah.
putting it on screen in such a, like,
Oh,
persistent
yeah.
way right
Yeah.
now. Like,
Well,
everything seems to
it
be
has,
like
like,
this.
this is so funny. I had a dream last night. This was a text I was gonna send you and I didn't. I had a dream last night about my high school boyfriend, and I was like, "I haven't seen this person or thought of this person in over a decade." Like, so long, so long. I was like, "When do these people leave your mind?" And it was like but it was that exact feeling of, like, that that, like, teenage, like, I don't know what's going on, like, but it's, like, so intense and, like, what cou everything is a possibility kind of
Mhm.
feeling, and I was like, "Oh my god," like, w that never leaves. That's just still inside of me somewhere. It's so crazy. It's
Yeah,
so
it is
crazy.
wild. It's so crazy. I mean, it is sick
Mhm.
how much how like Phoebe, I don't even really I want to leave this podcast right now because I want to get up and walk away because I too had a dream
No.
about my high school
Stop.
love.
This keeps happening to us. This, like, that is so weird. That is
Um
so weird.
it wasn't last night, but it was this week.
That is so weird.
And that is exactly the conclusion that I drew from it as well, which was this idea of like, oh, wow, like this still like I can still be kind of connected to this somehow. And it
Yeah.
like lives within me and like don't abandon this part of you because I think like we kind of do this like this is what I'm saying why I think it's important that we have these things on screen obviously because
Yeah.
we shouldn't silence that formative part of life, right? Because
Yeah.
I feel like we tend to be like, oh, well, when you're just like when you're a
Yes. Yes.
teenager,
You'll just wash it all away.
yeah,
Yes.
you would just kind of go like, but that is actually like incredibly special, formative, like what I don't know what word it is
Yeah.
that I'm looking for. Time
Yeah.
that should be treated with like reverence, almost. I
Yes, and I
think.
think I mean, like, this is just how I feel about teenagers in general, is, like,
Ugh.
why do we, uh, like, discount I mean, just children, anyone
Mhm.
younger than you at all times. I mean, I even feel at, like, it in my late 20s, like, I've been living my own life for a good chunk more than, I've been living life by, like, my design for more
Mhm.
than half of my life now, and,
Mhm.
like, when will I get the permission to just, like, what I know is best, or, like, one day I won't
Mhm.
change my mind?
Mhm.
But, like, why we do that to teenagers is, like, so
Mm.
ugh. It
Mm.
just in general, like, it to any feeling. Oh my
Yeah.
god, like, I remember I remember I had like the very classic like mom, but I love him.
Oh, me
like
too.
argument, whatever that is. Are you soliloquy, monologue? Like
Yeah.
I don't even know what.
Fervent, discourse
from the top of the stairs, yelling down, and like that is just that's like a part of me somewhere that like is a very passionate thing, and like I love that version of me, and I don't know, all this stuff, and I think so often I'm like, wow, I've just been doing the exact same thing I have been doing since I was like 5.
1,000%.
Like I'm just been me this whole time.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you know that's that thing, right? That like by like I don't know if it's like a stat or whatever, but like it's like something like 70 to 75% of us is basically like cooked by the time we're 3.
Wow. Oh no.
like the first 3 years of our lives are like basically determine how everything is going to go.
It's just like we just are who we are. We just
are who we are.
Wow.
Yeah. Wait. Okay, Ginny and Georgia. Yes, watch Ginny and Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What have you what's happening with you? What are you doing? What are you reading?
Know.
I mean, we both attended this amazing thing on Monday.
Yeah, that was so good with Sonya and ALOK and Adrian.
Yes.
I'm saying like they're all my besties.
They are. I'm working my way through the Journal of Radical Self-Permission right now.
Yeah.
And then like I think Sonya and Adrian kind of like created this like institute to kind of go with this, right? And that chat was great.
It was really good. I really loved it. I think people can catch the replay still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been floating around. TV is like, it's kind of a boring moment for TV. I'm looking forward to oh my God, I saw an amazing movie a couple of weeks ago. I think this was like the end.
Oh yeah.
Corsage. Run to go and see that. That was amazing. I've been trying to go to the movies a lot. We have like a really great like small theater in our like down the street from us.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to go there because I'm just like TV. It's good when it's good. I love when like we have like a cultural bop together.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. I was watching Fleischman's in Trouble. It's okay. I'm thinking this script is written by a man.
No shit. I know. When I watched the trailer, I was like, why do I give a flying fuck about this?
I mean, like Claire Danes, amazing.
Obviously, yeah.
What's her name? Lizzie Kaplan, amazing. Like, great. I just also the year is 2023. When there's like an entire white cast in New York City, I'm genuine.
I'm done.
What the fuck is going on?
What are we doing?
It's so weird. It's so weird looking. Like that's the thing that I find so funny about it. I'm like, what is like New York City?
Oh yeah. And also I also love it when like the characters are like from New York.
Yeah.
But somehow they're surrounded by like all white people. Yeah. I'm like, what? Like you're saying you're from, you know what I mean? Like the Bronx or something. But like, what are you saying?
I know.
Like, it's so weird.
Anyway, so I'm watching that. It's okay. I've been hooked into the Harry and Meghan. Well, I guess Harry's book right now.
Have you seen that their documentary series, like the Live to Lead?
Oh,
has dropped on Netflix where they interview all these like amazing people.
No, I'll watch that.
Jack and I are excited.
I mean, sounds good.
Anything Harry, I'm done. I'm ready. I'm on it. I don't care. Like,
well, it's so funny. It's so funny. Like people's, what I find very interesting. Like what's going on right now is like people's reaction to them, because what I think I've taken away from this is like our cultural. What's the word? Like critical thinking is not good. Like I am stressed about it.
I'm stressed about it too. I'm honestly so stressed.
Pulling like quotes and even like obviously editing audio together as a joke. Like it's an actual joke and people thinking it's real. Like that is like so concerned. Like I'm having a moral panic about that. But I find it like, I don't know. even consuming it, what I find so interesting about it, it's like not even like my opinion about them. It's like the way in which we talk about these two people. And like what I find most interesting, I'm just like going to get into it.
Let's go.
What people's removal of like, and I'm speaking very specifically of like the left, people's removal of like compassion and empathy and like our values that we like, that like the left slings or like says we're based on, because these two people are, and not to say that they're like, you know, I mean, Harry comes from a long line of colonialism, and but like you, because you're so rich, you can't have really horrible human rights violations like pushed against you and like be like suffer horribly from mental health.
No.
And you didn't ask for it. Like you literally didn't ask for it. Like, and it's only that way because of who your parents are. Like, it's so fucked up to me that people's just excuse their own bias and like inability to like or ability to compartmentalize with the justification of they're so rich and like class. I just find it
I mean,
bizarre.
I think what this whole Harry and Meghan thing has done has like opened up almost kind of like, it's like unlocked what we don't want to admit.
No.
Which is that you can suffer under this system no matter who you are and how much money you have and how much access you have. Like,
and
that
horribly suffer. Like people are using the screenshot of Meghan crying with like an Hermes blanket behind her. Like,
yes,
oh, are you gonna cry? It's like, yes.
Like, yes, as if this idea of owning, like, this is what I'm saying. It's like
you're not allowed.
It's like,
to
wake
do
up.
That.
It's like, wake up, everybody. Like, the fact that you even are like, oh, well, you have an Hermes blanket and therefore you should be void of the human experience is the system working? It's working.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
By you, like you are just, because almost what I can't stand is this idea of like, God, this could go so many ways. This idea of like, oh, but I'm being like critical. This is me being critical. This is me having like that thing. I'm like, no. You are a victim. Hello. Yeah. Just like everybody, like, no. 100%.
100%.
No.
It is bamboozling to me. And I've caught myself in like so many, and again, like, you know, conversations with friends and like, you know, people in like, not like I'm arguing comment sections, but just looking, observing and being like, wow. It's really so, and again, like, it's like the same values of like, we want everyone to be well, just stops applying at a certain point because of class. And we're not even going to act like one version of class is like good.
Yeah.
And another version is bad. And it's like, that is not the socialist, like,
no.
If I'm going to have like my big radical socialist values, like I need to be challenged by them. And like my socialist utopia does involve like allowing Meghan Markle to cry and like Harry to like talk about all of the shit. And like what I do find very interesting, like there's stuff that's like glaringly like so loudly missing from that book, you know?
Oh, of course.
And I think that's like the funny thing. It's like we have to, and I just think again, like they're just like such a great example of this stuff.
No, they really are. No, they just are like, it's such an easy, they're just like, it's just an like, they really,
There's just
no one like them. And like quite literally, like there is no other example of this. Like, anyways. Wait, when ZIWE put on her stories the cover of Spare, I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't.
I was like, if Harry
could you imagine
on ZIWE? I mean, I think it could happen because I think it was on Meghan's podcast.
That's like, right.
I'm like, I think
That's
Harry's gonna go on ZIWE.
right.
And like, this is where
See,
all
but
of
that's
this,
what I
like,
think
it's
is
just
so
gonna
funny.
combust.
I
And
think
I
so
love
funny
it.
about. I do really love him because he's like, he does like. He's like he is like a kind of a self-aware king at the same time. Like it is so fun.
Yes.
I don't know. I find it. I can't put it into a box, and I don't know why anyone would ever want to because it's so much more fun out here. Going what
It's
the fuck?
so much
Exactly,
more fun.
exactly. Looking around and being curious and being like, what if Harry went on ZIWE? Like, ugh. And I also just want to say they're so fucking embarrassing. I love it.
Oh my,
People are
I
like,
love
why
it
are they
too.
calling each other by their initials? And it's so cute. And I think it's
I'm
just
like-
embarrassing. Like, being in love is so embarrassing.
Oh, being in love
It's
is the most like disgusting thing in the world. Like
Yeah.
it's gross. And
Yeah.
I love when people are just like in their disgustingness.
I know.
Like, it's great.
I know.
Oh my God, I love that.
It's so funny. My parents called each other by their initials growing up. It's like it's so goofy. Like they just called each. They still do. They still call each other by their initials. It's so funny to me. I know. Yeah. Anyway, so
anyways,
domestic partnership. Yeah, that's what I don't know.
Did you get it? Did you say you were gonna read it?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try and read it for the pod. I'm gonna try.
Let's go.
It's. I know. So it'll just be more of that. It'll just be more of that, basically. Okay, should we actually talk? We should chat about it. This is a long intro. Let's talk about Patreon.
Yes.
Let's talk about Patreon.
Let's talk about Patreon.
It's basically this. So we have a Patreon where we are, I mean, the sales pitch of it all is uncut episodes. So you can hear the whatever the heck's going on behind the scenes. It's mostly just, well, no, you know what? It's uncut audio. It's stuff that we don't necessarily want out in the general public. There are golden nuggets in there.
Yes.
And then additionally, we are doing a bonus monthly podcast where, I don't know, our culture vulture selves come out. We're going to talk about when, and just like that's coming back, we're going to talk about it. Gilded Age, lots of TV, more TV and books and nonsense chat.
Yes. I have lots of thoughts on the Oscars, and I think that's where it should go.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Oscars. Yeah, we are. Well, Golden Globes just happened, and we were chatting about it. And I am an Oscars household person. My mom. I've gone to an Oscars party with my mom every year since I was like in the 6th grade.
I love that. I am an award season.
No, I
bitch.
love it. I love it.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
I think Jerrod Carmichael did so well at the Golden Globes. Like, he basically walked on and was like, I'm milking this shit. And I was like, you are so smart. I love this.
No, he's smart. I didn't catch all of it, but I was, I mean, obviously he was going to do a great job, but I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Anyways, Oscars.
Yeah,
stuff
so
like that.
Uncut episode. Yes. Uncut episodes, additional bonus monthly podcast. And then we have do you ever feel like, I don't know how else you could
Ooh,
you ever feel like, where you get to come on and chat with us and bring us your own questions. That is another tier that we have. I'm really excited. Like come be a guest on our podcast.
Yes, I love it. Come ask your questions. If you've ever had the urge to fill in the end of the Do You Ever Feel Like?
Yes.
This is your space.
Yeah, this is your shot. And then I'm missing one. And then we have, what's our last tier?
Oh, our last tier is if you are ever listening to us or seeing the vibes or seeing the Do You Ever Feel Like, and you're like, what are these crazies doing? How did they do it? How do they show up and lead artists' lives, creative lives, et cetera, et cetera? We're going to have a little treat for that too.
Yes.
That you can
a monthly one-on-one with us. Yeah, a monthly one-on-one with Jacqueline and I. Yes, I'm really looking forward to it. Jacques and I have been doing lots of like more collaborative work together, and as that kind of unfolds. So yeah, go check out the Patreon. It's I just am a big believer in paying for the stuff that you consume. And this is a really great way to help us support the pod and keep going as we kind of, we've been chatting about sponsors and stuff like that. And you know, by having your support, this kind of allows us to be a little bit more discerning about who
Yes.
we work with. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we can't this is us walking our talk in both of the
Yes.
ways, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if in my life I'm paying for the thing
Yeah.
that the person is producing and I only believe in that and putting a little bit of money here, putting a little bit of money there, then I as the person, we as the people creating
Yes.
have to contribute to that
Oh, yeah.
ecosystem as well in
Yeah.
order to really be in aligned with our values. So
Ugh, you're so
here we go.
smart.
I don't know what it is today. Professor Jacques is in.
Well, it's because you were like, I record, and I was like, shut up. Like, okay, just if you didn't want to record, you would have canceled. Like,
quite literally every single time that happens, Phoebe's like, shut up, and then like the episode is actually great.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you don't want to do something, I know you will say that. Anyway, let's get into it. Is that all of our stuff? That's all of our stuff.
We're back. Oh, season 2 is going to be, because we have the Patreon now, we're going to be doing bi-weekly episodes on the feed. So in your Spotify, in your Apple, however you listen to us, we are going bi-weekly instead of weekly episodes.
Yeah, I'm excited to kind of experiment with that as well. This is like to give us more. We've been like having fun the creation process of these episodes, so it gives us a little bit more time. And you know, we're here for the long haul, baby. So,
oh yeah, there's no rush.
There's no rush.
We're going to be here talking whether anyone's listening. We're still going to keep showing up. Even if you all are over it. Yeah. So there's no rush.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, that's like a lovely, juicy intro. Let's get into it. So my question today, Jacqueline.
Yes.
Do you ever feel like you want to be a stay-at-home girlfriend? Yeah, I changed it. I flipped and reversed it on you.
Wow.
So the stay-at-home girlfriend, I've kind of explained this to you before, but for listeners who don't know, the stay-at-home girlfriend trend is something that's kind of like shown. Well, it's like it's a
like
I don't know
over here.
I don't know. Like, what do we call this? I guess
I think a trend.
Is it? I guess it's a trend because it's like on the internet, but like
conversation on the internet.
Ooh, Oh my god! Look at you!
I know.
Today. Stop it! Stop it! I'm in love
every time. Ooh.
The stay-at-home girlfriend conversation. I can't. That is so funny. Has kind of like unveiled on TikTok specifically, but then as it does, like, you know, leaks out into the rest of kind of the world. And I don't think this is new, but I think what it kind of embodies is this like new reaction in people of like, well, if you're a girlfriend and not a wife, you know, I think it brings up feelings of like security. I think that brings up feelings of like, I don't know, certainly the feminist in me has a reaction to that. And I don't, as most things, like this is not about this, but it's instead like, I think of this Ali Wong joke of like, I don't want to go to work, I want to lie down. And like the parts of feminism that have been adopted are the ones that benefit capitalism and just labor in general. Like it just brings up all of these all of these things. So it's like my initial reaction to these women are like, holy hell, that is horrifying to me. And where do I sign up?
Yes. 1,000%.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. It's fine.
Since coming back to Instagram, I've discovered a world of what I believe might be the stay-at-home girlfriends.
Yeah.
I've discovered like how like all the fashion like Soho like girlies, like the New York, there's like a thing now where everyone is vlogging their lives.
Yes.
And it's like,
yes.
Like for
yes.
I've been the algorithm has seen my like fascination and is only serving me like like thin white women in like their boyfriends' boxers and then like Levi's that are like kind of like big and like lounging around on their like white, what's that fabric, Bolsley furniture, what's it called?
Oh, boucle
furniture with
the
like their sunbeams of coffee, and it's like, this is what I'm saying, and it's like all the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is what Phoebe's talking about.
Yeah. And it's so it does this, it has this funny function, right? Where and it kind of makes me think of who was the guy, okay, so it has like these two functions. It has like these two reactions of like, you know, feminists getting stressed about it.
Yes.
And you know, my internal dialogue is like, oh my God, like we're trapped, like what's going on? And then like, okay, well, I guess it's feminism is about choice, and like this is a choice, I guess. Okay, cool, sure. And then it has the like the right wing approach of like, feminists hate this woman's choice, and like the reaction economy of, what is the guy's name? Andrew Tate. It has like the Andrew Tate effect of the internet. So like that these freaks can have a reaction to liberals and feminists and choice and what I believe sometimes is the lack of choice in these situations. So I think it like takes up this very interesting corner of the internet, and that is actually where the Venn diagram meets in a funny way. And like, yeah. That's kind of my positioning of this, of like, aren't we all, I don't even know what, but aren't we all kind of the same? And when I start teasing this apart, it's like, oh, I do not dream of labor.
Well, no one. I mean, no one does.
But it's this funny living where it's like, yes, I have my coffee. Yes, I have my boucle couch. And like, yes, I like wash my boyfriend's t-shirts for him. And like, well, I don't even like, then I go grocery shop. Like, I don't know. It's like, it's not this labor. And okay, I'm just going on a total tangent. And these women are like creating content from it. So I don't really know if they're stay-at-home girlfriends anymore. Like, now I think you're running a small business.
Well, exactly. It's like, this is what I mean when I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like, oh,
I know,
my brain. Like labor. And then it's like, it's like labor on top of, it's like everything is labor.
Yeah.
Like existing now.
Yeah. Yes.
Is labor.
Yes.
Like Elizabeth Gilbert thing you sent me a couple weeks ago.
Good.
This idea of like your life has to have purpose.
And meaning,
so it's like,
and then
even
monetize it.
Yes. So it's like, even if you're like rejecting the labor and you're sitting, you know, you're Ali Wong sitting on your couch watching Ellen or whatever, like that still has to somehow be significant, and that has to make a mark. And so we have to.
Oh, that's good. So it has to be documented.
So it has to be documented, and it has to be shared, because then it shows that you're choosing this other thing, and that there's like everything is wrapped in this. Ollie, I know you agree. My God,
the choir sings. Let the choir say amen.
No, he's like, don't talk about this too much because then you won't be here all day to take care of me, Mom, because you too are a stay-at-home girlfriend. Come here.
So I was thinking about why the stay-at-home girlfriend, and even I remember a couple of years ago it was a big thing on YouTube, the trad wife thing, or even my mind just goes to all this fucking ultra wackadoodle evangelizing of right wing quote unquote good old old fashioned family values and stuff like that, right? The trad wife stuff. But I was why? But why the stay-at-home girlfriend? Where did she come from? And as somebody who is, another question I think this could be is do you ever feel like you are a stay-at-home girlfriend as somebody who works at home and stares at my laundry basket all day and does do domestic shit during the day? It's so hard to untangle myself from that, okay, I'm talking about myself. I want to talk about something else for a second, and then I'll come back to this. But I was thinking, where did she? What's the origin story of the stay-at-home girlfriend? Where'd she come from? Who is she? And I was thinking, over the last 2-3 years, this horrible collective trauma that we've all lived through, and I was thinking of after the Second World War, women were going to university. There was this rise of feminism, kind of right after the First World War, where women, and even just before that as well, women were getting pants, women were going to universities, women's colleges were becoming a thing. There was this desire to have women in the workforce and also be educated and be part of members of society. And obviously at this moment I'm talking about white women. But after the Second World War, there was this big push of women going back home, and that's where the 1950s housewife stereotype comes from, right? Of this good old I don't know what it is. I don't know how that those two things coming back. I guess simplicity, I guess good old days, I guess nostalgia is what those are conflated with. But then I think of the exact same thing of we've just lived through this big collective trauma that I think I was telling you that somebody was saying this was I was listening to a vet talk about being in war, and they were saying days of beginning of 2020 was in 2021 where I felt the same as I did when I was fighting for my life and fighting for other people's lives, however you want to, whatever with that information, but the PTSD of that all. And I think that after this collective trauma, our want and desire for quote unquote comfort and simplicity is the stay-at-home girlfriend, is oh, my life is just, I just want to fold laundry. I just want to arrange my ice cubes in a very nice way. I don't want to reach for some other thing. I don't want I don't want for anything else. I just want it is the more linear path, I think, is kind of what we're conflating it with in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's kind of more complicated than work or not work.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Because like you said, everything is labor.
And even when women are in an office working, quote unquote, right? Whatever the fuck that vignette is, or whatever, right? They're not working. They're doing domestic labor, even sitting at their desk. You know what I mean? So it's
my God.
So then part of me gets real meta about it, and is are women ever staying at home?
Yeah.
Or are women ever
working
women?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, I mean, this was very funny. I've already told you this. As I was coming in the house yesterday, this was at 11 a.m. This was 11 a.m. My neighbor, I'm start chatting with my neighbor who's a man in his 70s. And where I live, Hamilton is like a very blue collar city. People compare it a lot to Detroit, of like had like this big economic boom in, I think, like this like 60s and 70s. And like when the steel companies left, it left the city very, very poor and very desolate. And so it's done an interesting thing to politics in the city as well. But anyway, that's like some like kind of niche small town North America stuff. Anyway,
history.
But yes. I think it like kind of paints the picture, you know, of like this like, you know, blue collar good old boy, like you know, did all of the things and like was sold the dream. Right? Like, and won the dream, you know, was sold the work hard. And I think, I mean, gosh, I think a lot about like, what must it be like to be, you know, boomers and older to have been sold the dream and probably made it through, you know, like the dream of working hard and owning your own home and having a family and, you know, stability and comfort. For that to not be true any longer, and not like, and it was only really ever true for some, that's gotta feel like earth-shatteringly
like
difficult information. So I understand not where they're coming from, but like how we got here, you know, how we got like the radicalized version of these things. Anyway, I was coming into my house yesterday, chatting with my neighbor. And I can't remember, we were chatting how we ended up on the topic of like, everything's so expensive right now. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. We're talking about like property taxes. We're talking about rent. We're talking about like, I mean.
I'm just fascinated that this person had you for like longer than 30 seconds on like a random.
The only people that can bamboozle me into conversation are people over the age of 60, because I'm like, oh, I feel bad. Anyway, again, it is 11 a.m. I was like, oh my God, we're really just
going for it.
Yeah, guns a-blazing. And he says to me, he goes, you know, I think the government has really taken advantage of women. That's why everything's so expensive. And I was like, I really agree. I 100% agree. He goes, you know, if we just got back to old family values, this all started when women started working, because now they know that you need double income to just survive. And I was like, I think that I agree with you what the problem is. Where we separate here is what the solution is. And the like Kool-Aid that we've been sold of like, there is only one path. Like, yes, there is a problem. Sure, we could, like most people, I bet, could identify what many problems on Earth are. But could we have the creativity? Could we have the imagination to dream up a better world is like where people stop. And to like not question, not even just how, but like why we feel this way is wild.
It's wild. I mean, like, because then in that regard, like my brain kind of goes to like, well, maybe the stay-at-home girlfriends are actually geniuses.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Wait, maybe this is the creative, imaginative, free, radicalized space we talk about. Like, maybe this, like, whoa. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe this is this other possibility and we're not stuck between these two ideas of feminism or ideas of what feminism has looked like or like whatever. And then like the divine feminine thing kind of comes into this for me too. Like this whole idea of like women honoring their divine feminine or feminine and like, we could go off on the tangent of like the disgustingness of that and the capitalization of that and like all of that stuff, right? Like, but like this idea of like, is this an invitation not just for women to live and work and slow in this way that this kind of like has been packaged into, but is this an invitation for us all to honor this way of moving and living in the world that like the fancy real Instagrams are showing us, You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like what would happen if men moved through their work days?
Yeah.
What would happen if we
Mhm.
all moved through time and space and labor like that?
Yeah. Well, and I think the stay-at-home girlfriends are trying to do the exact same thing I'm doing, by proving ourselves in different
Mhm.
ways that we are valuable and that we are
Yeah.
good. And whether or not that makes you good at domestic labor,
Mhm.
whether that's like making money or a contribution to the world or productivity or whatever you want to call these things, they are in search of being a good woman, whatever the fuck
Mhm.
that is.
Mhm.
Whatever the fuck
Mhm.
that is.
And so it's so easy, right, to kind of go like, oh, well, a good woman right now means vlogging your pretty life,
Yeah.
right? Like it feels really easy to like reduce
Mhm.
it to that. But
Yeah.
it's so much more complicated.
Oh, yeah, and like I said
Yeah.
too, like I do find it very funny that they're like, "I don't work." And I'm like, "Well, I see you have a brand deal in the last slide." So, um, that's work.
Yeah.
And like, go sister, like rise up. Like,
Yeah. Like,
it's so and I guess I guess another part of this conversation too is like, this new way in which we are talking about work. And I think especially Gen Z is like entering the workforce. And I mean, like they have entered the workforce, Gen Z are like in their 20s, but
mhm.
what they're asking for and what they want are very
Mhm.
different to what I think maybe other people's definitions of this. So it's like, maybe there's space for that. Maybe there's space for this other stuff. But like, um, I don't know. I kind of come back to it's like, the dishes need to be done. The dishes need to be done, right? And it's like, who does them
Mhm.
is is so um is so political.
Yeah.
It's so political, and it's an untangling of something at some point, no matter who you are or what you think you're doing.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
a big for me, my feminism is like women sitting down in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
and men standing up and to do things.
Mhm.
And I think by starting with that formula, like I think, I mean, I was even just talking about this with a friend the other day. She was like, "Oh, I am being a dad by default for the first 3 years of my child's life so that I because it's still an unwiring. Like I do not call me at
Mm.
work, call my husband. Like do not,
Mm.
like my husband manages very particular life management, like house management stuff, so
Mhm.
that we can untangle this and then come back to the drawing board together. Like it is like an
Mm.
experiment this way, and I think it's an experiment the same way where it's like, oh,
Oh,
I'm
yes.
rejecting working, I shall be a stay-at-home girlfriend instead. Like I'll do the dishes, honey, you sit down.
Yeah.
It's like it's so enmeshed and like
Mhm.
I don't know,
Mhm.
value.
Mhm. Yeah, it's so hard because I hear what you're saying. Like, I hear what you're saying. And then
Mhm.
also I think about my own relationship and I'm like, and like, I know that this is my shit and this is other women
Mhm.
too, mainly. But like, I will always be concerned with who does the dishes, politicized or
Oh,
not.
yes.
Like, well, I mean, that
100%.
is politicized, but
Yeah.
like, I I have internalized it as my burden
Oh,
to
yeah.
bear.
Oh, yeah.
Um, yeah. I
But I
just kind of think
think
about this and I'm like, what if it was like the reverse? If it was like,
oh my
I'm
god.
a stay-at-home
Yeah.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, what would that do?
Yeah.
It's
No,
interesting.
100%. And I think, I mean, I think that's why, for me,
Mm-hmm.
for me, feminism means, and also I think that like certain women sit down, other women stand up.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
certain women sit down, like
And people, frankly,
yeah,
people,
people
certain
sit down.
people.
Yes,
Yes.
sit down. I mean, I guess like when it comes to any kind of like untangling of like intersectionality and stuff like that,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
what is something that we have been conditioned to carry? Like, can I pass that to somebody else? But like, I sit down so that I can start to undo that internalizing, like a literal rewiring of my nervous system. And I mean, I still feel this. I haven't done dishes in years. In years and years and years and years and years. I still feel great shame when I don't feel great shame. It is very radical for me when I say to people, oh, I don't do the dishes at all. I don't do a lot of domestic stuff at my house, to be perfectly honest either. Like I hate it. I just hate it. I don't want to do it. People have reactions to that. Like people say things to Simon, people say things to me, and it's like, whatever. It's like, I'm sorry that you feel that way, like it's this like negotiation with like, what will people think, and what, oh my God, if my grandma saw me, she would be horribly, horribly, horribly upset. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's so interesting because like you're kind of saying the same thing that they're saying. Like you're saying like, this is what I loved about what ALOK said on Monday. Like this idea of like, oh no, like, yeah, like I know, like me too. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it makes me uncomfortable too.
Yeah.
That I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like I struggle with the fact that I'm not doing the dishes too. Like, you know what I mean? Or like even though I don't like it, even though I don't want it, even though I can tell that this is not how I want to be and be spending my time, I'm a victim of this too. And like, I'm over here.
Oh yeah.
Trying to like deal with my feelings about the laundry basket in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like this space that people don't, we reject that.
Well, and it's like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is to interrogate it. It's something else entirely. It's a maybe a shut up. Maybe it's a get in line. It's like a, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But it's but it's certainly, you're not supposed to talk about it. It's very secret. It's very hush hush. It is what it is, and I think even in like this like feminist utopia or something like that, like that of like, corporate girl bosses or whatever, like that doesn't bother them in some way. And I just don't think, I mean, this kind of comes back to everything. It comes back to class. It comes back to race, like if somebody else is going to do my laundry for me, it's a whole, oh wow, have I entered a whole new territory of guilt and weirdness that is so just needs to be undone. Just so needs to be undone. And it's like, not mine, something that somebody else gave me.
Yeah. What was the original question you asked me?
Do you ever feel like you want to be a stay-at-home girlfriend?
Yeah. That's complicated.
I think I am.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm 1,000% am. I am.
I'm a stay-at-home girlfriend who's very bad at it.
Yes. I was gonna say.
I'm very bad at it. I don't sweep. I don't
sweep.
I work, my attention gets drawn to other I'm bad at it.
Yeah, I'm a stay-at-home girlfriend. I think I'm like manipulative about it. To myself and my partner.
Well, of course you are, because you're trying to prove your value. Because you're good.
Because I'm good if I do it and I'm good if I'm not. I'm good if I sweep.
Yeah.
And I'm good if my ovaries take a nap.
Yeah. Yep. Well, you're valuable.
And I can wield that shit.
Oh, I mean,
and it's not cute. It ain't cute. That's what I'm saying.
Who can wield it better than a white woman?
This is what I mean.
Like for realsies. For realsies. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, I want to end with this ALOK
Okay.
quote that I put. This is ALOK's the star of this show, this episode, which
Apparently.
I think makes sense for this topic.
Yes.
I think it just makes so much sense. Okay. What feminine part of yourself did you have to destroy in order to survive this world? Are there parts of you that you've denied or tucked away to gain approval? What if you didn't have to do that? I love that.
So do I.
What feminine part of yourself did you have to destroy in order to survive in this world? I think is every stay-at-home girlfriend's drama every day.
Mm-hmm.
For me, for you, for the girlies on their boucle couches, like
Yeah.
for
the boyfriends working.
yes, I know. Feminine part of
Mhm.
yourself. I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Wow.
What if you didn't have to do that? I mean, this is where I think like, that creativity comes in mind, where it's like, could we dream up another world? And I think it starts with like this really deep, uncomfortable untangling of like sitting
Yes.
down and getting up and like not. I mean, this is kind of an anecdote. Okay, here's a funny anecdote. Here's a funny little anecdote. So it was Lunar New Year. I think it was last weekend, and I had learned so Simon's family celebrates Lunar New Year, and I learned this tradition where you don't clean for I can't remember what it is, but it's like you clean and then you don't clean after a certain point of time or something like that. So the idea is that you so it's up until New Year's and I could be getting this wrong. This was like this is like telephone information that I've been told. But the idea is like you don't clean so that you're not sweeping away all of your bad luck. Same way like Simon doesn't cut his hair in the month of January for the same reason. So like you're not cutting off any good luck that you might have collected from the last year. And then in the same fold, then later when you do clean, you are doing like a more of a ritual cleaning where you are getting rid of any bad luck that might have like accumulated or something like that, or like rested inside somewhere. Anyway, so we were chatting about this on the couch, and Simon was like, by the way, this was like 2 weekends ago. He was like, we're not going to clean, or he was like, that's not clean this week or something like that. Or he was just telling me about it. And I was like, right, Lunar New Year's, we're not going to clean. And I spent the following week inside a jail that I built for myself of that is so dusty over there. And can I just be fucking okay with that, even though I'm in my house trying to like send sales emails, looking at it? And it was a real Simon was just like, just fucking clean if you want to clean. And I was like, no, honestly, I'm just, like, I was experimenting. I was experimenting with like, how much could I tolerate? And what kind of immediately when he was like, oh, it's Lunar New Year's, that's not clean. Like I felt such a relief. I was like, I'll be a good woman by sitting down. Finally, it all makes sense. And like as the days went on, it was just like torture, pain. Like, can I not clean? Ay. Anyway.
I remember one of my first tasks in therapy, in like adult therapy, was like, yes, the fact that I have to say that is an interesting concept. But like, I don't know, like the actual therapy of my life is kind of how I think about it. One of the first tasks was like, unload the groceries, but don't put them away. And just like sit there. Just have the groceries that like aren't gonna like spoil or whatever sit on the counter for as long as you possibly can.
That is so funny. One of my first adult therapy tasks.
I'm ready.
Was cook yourself dinner. Was make yourself dinner, even like, and just like, even if it's nothing, like it doesn't have to be good. but like cook yourself dinner. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow,
And it doesn't have to be a whole
siblings than
production.
me. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a production. I think that was the it doesn't have to be like a thing. It can just be like,
what? What is that? What do you
I
mean
know.
something isn't a production? What is
I know.
What is
I'm
that
like,
world?
ma'am, are you looking at? I have blue lipstick on right now.
Existing as a performance. Like what?
Yeah. Anyway. What if it didn't have to be that way? What if it didn't have to be that way? What if you didn't have to do that? I love that quote so much. So good. Oh, my baby's here now too. Hi. You want to come up?
Yeah. What a question. All right, friends.
Okay. Well,
Anything
another
else?
beautiful episode. No, that's it. Go find all the stuff at doyoueverpod@gmail.com. Write to us. We literally love hearing from you.
We love to hear from you. Write to us. Questions. All the things.
Yeah. Patreon.
Patreon's coming. Yes.
Patreon. And that's it. I think.
Patreon. Okay.
I think it's okay. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Thank you for listening to Do You Ever Feel Like?
Follow this chaos wherever you get your podcasts.
Our artwork is by Simon Peng. Do You Ever Feel Like is produced by Jacqueline Wills
and Phoebe Taylor. You can follow us on Instagram at doyoueverpod.
You can write to us at doyoueverpod@gmail.com. Okay, bye.